Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone. Happy holidays and welcome to USA Global TV and to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is the Listening Mentor. I am so excited. I started this program to give people on my team who I've designated as elevated listeners the opportunity to come and share role plays, stories, and key learnings when it comes to listening. These individuals have taken the time and made the investment to learn how to listen authentically. That's why you should be doing business with them. You should get to know them personally and network with them. They hold a safe space for you. They listen without judgment. They listen without providing solutions. They listen without interrupting. And they are just wonderful people who truly believe in providing a space for you to share. Let's welcome them. The first person is my friend and elevated listener, Teuta Avdyli. Hi, welcome.
Hello, hi everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, whatever part of the world you are joining tonight. I am so delighted to be here again, and I thank you, Dr. Jacalyn, for inviting me back to US TV show, The Listening Mentor, starring by you. It feels so good to be back again, and it feels like home. Thank you.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you, and I'm excited for our role play today with this individual. He is my friend, my book coach, and he is also an elevated listener. Let's bring him on, Mr. red.olaughlin. Hi, Red.
Howdy, y'all.
It's so good to see you.
It's always good to be seen.
We have a really special show today, but before we begin, I would really like for each of you to share with the world what it is that you do. You are elevated listeners and so much more, and I know how much it means to you to incorporate authentic listening into everything that you do. So, Teuta, I'll start with you.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Jacalyn. Yes, my name is Teuta Avdyli. I am bestseller author of the book Born to Stand Out and Not to Fit In, and the second book, Family, Legacy of Love. I am a motivational speaker, Les Brown certified Power Voice Academy, transformational and parenting coach. I deliver coaching training workshops. I help families, especially career mothers, to transform their homes and themselves in a powerful way, to leave a legacy of love with strategies, practices that I recommend to deepen your connectivity with yourself and with your children. So you can raise productive, successful, and resilient kids and have peace, joy, happiness in your own family. So yes, that is me. Thank you.
You're muted, Dr. Jacalyn.
Hello, sorry about that. Yes, I'm muted. I said, Teuta, thank you so much. That was fantastic. And I'm looking forward to this role play that you've created. Red, let's hear from you. Please share with our audience a little bit about your background.
I'm also looking forward to this role play that just happened. Anyway, I speak quite often. I'm a professional speaker. Most of my topics are on health and wellness. I occasionally speak on mindset. I wrote a book on the subconscious mind, how you can actually talk to your brain and make things happen in your life. One of my specialties is in longevity. I've written a book on the two primary causes of longevity, what you can do to accelerate or decelerate your aging processes. I research what goes on in the human body at the cellular level. Chemically speaking, I look for cause and effect relationships, treat a cause, fix a problem. treat a symptom, and you'll always treat the symptoms. So you got to fix a cause to really fix something. And then my number one best-selling book, The Joy of Ageless Health, I talk about the 6 or 7, 8 things that you can do to change your life to minimize any level of disease and health issues in your life. So I write, I speak, and I also publish books. You bring me a finished book that's ready to roll, and I will produce an ebook, a physical book, and an Amazon account for you that you can sell your books. I'll train you how to use your author account so you can change your categories, your keywords, your prices, and I'll give you the strategies that you need. If you want to become a number one best-selling author, I have sources that are very, very successful. I'm talking about 98% successful in getting number one best-selling authors on Amazon. So if you have any interest in that whatsoever, please give me a buzz. I'd be more than happy to talk to you. Thank you.
I am the first one.
Okay.
Thank you, Red.
You've already got your first client, my client just right now.
You know what? I absolutely love it. Somebody reached out to me today, somebody that was my business coach, and she has a client who wants to meet with Red. So Red, you got 2 referrals today.
Oh.
And I'm gonna let our audience know that this is my book that Red helped me publish. And Red and I just met right before this for the second book, which is really kind of cool. So he is your man. Do get in touch with him, and we'll
It's not kind of cool. It is cool.
It is very cool.
It's like, it's not kind of pregnant. It is pregnant. It's either one or the other. It's cool.
Yeah,
it is cool. We've got a comment from Hyatt Ives in the house. Better seen than viewed. Hello to y'all. Hi, Hyatt. And also, somebody loves you, Teuta. It's your daughter. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Helena. Thank you. I love you, Mommy.
Oh, so sweet. All right, so let's get the role play started. Teuta, you're going to be the parent, you're the mother, and Red, you're the child. So
childish.
I am going to remove myself from the stage, and Teuta, I'll follow your lead, and Red, let's see what you guys have for us. Then I'll come back.
Mommy, you keep telling me you're going to take me to see the movie Encanto. You promised it for Thanksgiving. It came out, and we couldn't go. You promised me again a couple weeks ago with Joan and Charles across the street. It doesn't matter. It seems like every time that you make me a promise, you're not keeping it, and I don't know what to do. I'm upset.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I'm sorry. I'll tell you. I mean, next week, I promise that I will do it. Next week, please. I'll do. I promise.
Promises. Mommy, you keep telling me you're disappointed sometimes. You're making me disappointed. I have no control. I don't know what to do. I can't even speak. I'm so excited. So upset. You promise, but the promises are not, they're not.
Oh, please, darling. I know you are right. But, you have to understand, Mommy, that I have lots of work to do as well. I am so overloaded and really I have to finish this. I have to finish this project and I have a deadline. Please, after that, I promise you that I will do it. Please, can you please have some patience, please?
Well done. We've got some Emmy Award potential actors here. So I want to start out with Teuta. As a parent, how did you feel in real life as a parent while you were doing the role play?
I felt the pain. I felt the pain because sometimes we ignore what the child wants to tell us, because as a parent as well, we have to wear many hats and we have to finish this and that, but we forget that the most important thing that are our children. There is our audience that are watching every move of what we do. And yes, it hurts. It hurts when we had the play role because the time that is gone will never come back, because they will grow very soon and then we'll never get back those moments. So yes, we have to create special moments every minute. And I say as well, whatever, we should not compromise the time, the appointments, or even with our kids. There are some things that are not negotiable. So when it comes to our kids, we have to stop and really listen. because there are times that they want to, we have to validate their feelings, but there are times that even when they have throw the tantrum, we have to stop and really go deep to these issues, because they are telling us that they are not happy.
Thank you. And Red, I want to find out, you are also a parent, but you played the role of a child. And previous to this show, you and I were talking about my next book, and we were actually talking about a person in the book who felt like they didn't get the attention of their parent, and we see what happened as their life went on. How did you feel as you were playing the role of the child?
It took I had to figure out what scenario I was going to do and get myself aligned to say, I can make excuses as an adult for something that somebody doesn't do for me, but to try to get into a mindset of a child, somebody who might be 6 or 8 or 10 years of age, they only have certain things in their lives that are critical to them. And when you make a promise is more than just, we're going to go do this. That promise really means something. In fact, a lot of times when you're looking at the subconscious mind, when you put a to-do list item on there, well, that's one thing. It doesn't get done, it's fine. But when you put a promise list of things that you got to get done, that word promise translates differently in the brain, and it certainly translates differently to children's brains, because that's something coming from a sacred mother or father or parent relationship saying, yeah, I promise you we're going to do this. Well, certain things that come within our environment, okay, fine, I got a phone call, I got to go, I'm a doctor, a lawyer. There's a lot of different professions. Your military, you're going, but sometimes the work is the problem. Sometimes COVID is the problem. You can't go because it's not at the store, it's not at the whatever. And so we have to be very careful. We're always using I promise you, and the promises are never kept, then that dilutes that bond a little bit, so that when there's certain things there, and I'm trying to figure out in my brain, do we jump to the same words, or do we just not, it's one of those things that we constantly say, but we don't necessarily hear them in our own brain. We talk about hearing, and this is what the show on elevated listening, but we're not listening to ourselves sometimes when we say things. Now, the child, we don't expect them to listen. That's absolutely true, because you can tell them, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. By the time they're 16, 18 years of age, they've heard no 80,000 times in their life. I mean, it's just, that's part of, no doesn't mean anything anymore. It just means I'm waiting for the yes. But in reality, when we start saying things to our kids, we have to be real careful if we're using that same language and we're not really respecting the value of the words that we choose.
Thank you, Red. So if we were to look at the situation from a different perspective, Red is still going to say the exact same thing, right? Because Red feels unrecognized, unheard, promises made, not kept. Teuta, what could you do? You have your phone, you're in the middle of a project, your child comes to you and is obviously upset. You still have the deadlines. What are 2 or 3 things you could do immediately to try to show Red actually that you do care and that you are there for him?
Yes. What I would say, that if the child comes and I see that there is very important that they want to speak, I would say, look, can you give mommy just 5 minutes to finish what I have in my hands, and I will be with you. So, and even I can put a phone on the 5 minutes, showing that I am very true to my words. And I really telling them that really matters what I want to listen, what you want to tell me, and I will be with you no matter what. And I have to leave, and I have to keep the promise, because if we keep starting and not keeping our words and breaking those promises, then we lose the authority as a parents. Very true. Then they will see these patterns to our children, because they say, oh, mommy does it, so it's okay to do it. So because that's how we, by being as a parents, by being example, and we can ask them to be the same. So we can add those values and beliefs as a parents to the children as well. And we can require them those in our homes, in our family. So that's what I would say. And then I think that the child will feel very valued, will feel very that the mommy is paying attention to my feelings, to what I have to say, and they matter. Him or her, they matter, whatever they say. So that's what I would say. I would give, if it's something that I have in my hands, I'll give them time, 5 minutes, and I'm wrapping up, and I will be with you, and I will keep the promise.
Thank you, Teuta. Red, how do you feel as the child hearing that?
Well, let me add an extra one in there that I think might amplify that just a little bit. Children respond differently. You know, if it was my daughter, I'd say, you know, give her a hug and just keep that hug there for a minute or two, because that bonding is there. I mean, you don't have to say anything when you're hugging somebody. Now, maybe my son, it may not be the same way, but it doesn't matter. You have to know, what do they want. Now, maybe, you know, here's the phone for 5 minutes. You know, I give the phone to my son. I says, when that thing hits 0, you come back, and I'm going to stop whatever I'm doing. Now, instead of me allowing the phone where he doesn't see what the time is, he is now responsible for that 5-minute gap in his life. So that might be another way, playing to the sensitivity or to the dominance of what that particular child responds to. And so some of it's tactile, some of it's, you know, more in the hands-on kind of thing, giving them the phone with the 5-minute warning ticking down. When you have a deadline, so when I used to tell the kids, okay, you know, 10 minutes for bed, didn't make any difference, whatever it was, 2-minute warning, you know, it'd still be 10 minutes in the 2-minute period, but they knew something was coming. And when you have a time frame, regardless of what it is, something is coming and there's going to be action at the end. Okay, 10 minutes is up, time for bed. 10 minutes is up, TV goes off. Whatever that thing is, there's a time frame. And I love time frames because that's something that we live by all the time. What time does your show start today, Dr. Jacalyn? 3 p.m. Be on board at 2:50. Okay, we know time frames. Kids are just as adaptable. You know, if they know they have to be at class at a certain time, or they got to be at church at a certain time, or whatever it may happen to be, you know, their birthday party starts at 3 p.m. on Saturday, they want to be there at whatever time. So I think the time issue is a very, very good one for people, but we just have to apply it in such a way that it is meaningful. And as you say, when you promise something, ding, 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 ding. Okay, mommy, I'm ready. Let's go. You can't say at that point, I need another 2 minutes, because you should have said, well, you should have given me 7 minutes instead of, you know. So let's be realistic on the times. And I think if you do that, then when somebody starts giving me, oh, here's my 5-minute, then that really and truly, that is a deliverable, because it's ding, ding, ding. And you know, you've made that commitment.
Yes. And I want to add something, if you allow me, Dr. Jacalyn. I mean, it's when my daughter was like 5 years old, and I remember that I had to do something was very important. And she came to me and said, Mommy, and I said, yes. And I still was doing something on my phone. And she said, Mommy? I said, yes. She didn't say still again. I said, Mommy? I said, yes, Helena. And I turned and she said, Mommy, now you are listening to me. And I never, ever forget that time. And I said, look, how the kids really said, Mommy, I want you full attention. I don't want your ears. I want your entire face towards me. And that really transformed my way of my listening to the kids. Because children are very good teachers. I mean, we evolve with them. They grow, we grow with them. Because we know each child has a different personality, as you said, Red, you know, and each of them, they have different way of communicating, of even like how, for example, my son is very attached. He wants, if I give him a hug, he's fine. But my daughters want to speak. She wants like verbal, like to speak with her. And that's really, really touched me. She said, Mom, 3 times. And I said, yes, Helena, talk. Mom, again, Mom. And then I left it and turned and said, now you're talking to me.
Yeah. Actions really do speak very loudly. One of my daughter's boyfriends way back when, he's passed when he has an automobile wreck, but when something needed to be done, it didn't matter what was going on, and he stopped and did it. And I just, you know, the first couple of times, well, maybe he's trying to impress my daughter. And then after all, that's his lifestyle. That's him. That's his. It doesn't matter what it was. He didn't. He just did it. That was a higher purpose for him. Now, it may still have been that he wanted the affections of my daughter, but still the same. It rubbed off on me. It rubbed off on other people because that's just his nature, and you cannot not do something because of that. So, but yes, you're absolutely right, Teuta.
Really good points by both of you. And Teuta, thanks for your vulnerability and sharing your own situation at home. A question I have for both of you is, and again, I'm just going to give a disclaimer. I'm not a parent. Okay. So just putting that out there. Things in life don't always go the way we expect. And what I wonder is, and Red, you touched on this, shows don't take place. Everything's being canceled again, right? Things being shut down. Do we bring children up understanding, expecting that things will not always go as planned? And this is a little bit of a segue from what we were talking about. Okay. It's about expectations. Do we teach them that no, everything's not going to be perfect. It's not always going to be the way we want it to be. And as a result, you have to be able to adapt yourself. Any thoughts on that? I'll start with Red.
My grandson, when he was around second grade, I'm guessing, I had written my book on no matter what you can do it, and we were asking some questions, and I started explaining to him how the human brain works in your subconscious mind, and he was just mesmerized. And when I started mentioning, well, you want this, you need this, I said, your brain doesn't comprehend that. I mean, your physical being, you say that's what you want, but it doesn't connect with what's actually going to happen. And so we started talking about expectations. And when you look at happiness in the world, expectations is a major part of happiness. And when your expectations are met, whether they're low or they're high, it doesn't matter. Happiness exudes from those expectations being met and exceeded or whatever. So if we start explaining that expectations change, now we're starting to talk to the child's subconscious mind, because now we're starting to get into a different part of the brain. You can just say, no, we don't have time right now. Okay, that's one thing. But when you plan on something, here's a birthday party you're going to go to. I expect that we're going to go there. I expect that dad's going to show up. I expect that whatever's going to. Okay, sometimes those expectations don't come, and there's a disappointment. We need to recognize that disappointment just as much as we need to recognize anything else that's in there. And so when you talk about, I know that you were expecting dad to be here, he got called out of town, whatever, he got held up in a trap, doesn't matter. We need to address those because that expectation was not met, and we can short circuit that little bit of unhappiness by at least addressing that part of that. That's what I think. Teuta?
Yep. Yes, I totally agree with you, Ed. What you said is absolutely, because children love expectation, because when they know the expectation, they know what is coming. And expectation is making them, is preparing what's come next. And actually they thrive when children have expectation, where they have planning, the timing. For example, say like, okay, in 10 minutes, we have to be ready and get ready. Maybe sometimes the children don't like it, but they know that this is required to do it. So I believe as well that children love and thrive expectation. And in fact, even when, for example, we said that they is not what we expect them to do as well, but they understand that this is expected to do, like it or not. So this is another way that expectation is very good, planning is good, routine, all these rituals are very good for children, and they thrive in a family that have those. And the children love security, children love discipline, and they thrive in these areas when they have this.
And we can never forget that we are the parent. We're not their best friend. It may end up being both at the same time, but we are the parent, and we have to remain the parent because we have that wisdom, that vision of what is going on right now that they do not see or can't even comprehend in some cases. So yes, there's so many different facets of being a parent nowadays. It's just mind-boggling.
This is so good what you said, Red, because I've already wrote a chapter on this about, I said, first parent, the second friend, because I said, like, a child doesn't need a friend because they have their friend. A friend, I say to my child, doesn't say to you where to go to sleep. A friend doesn't say to you, you have to do the homework. A friend doesn't buy you good clothes or your favorite, whatever. Your parent does it. So you don't need a friend like it's 40 years old. You need your friend. Your friend is your friend. And so I say to the parents, be a parent first, and then second friend, because it's very important. Because if we do this, if we mix those together, then we lose the authority with the children. And then, because a friend speaks, I'm not saying that a child will not speak with them. It depends how you communicate with your child. But there are things that the child speaks more with a friend. Maybe they will not share exactly what they say with the parents. So it's very important to be a parent and to not lose the authority, and to really guide your child in the right path.
Well, maybe it's the difference between being child and childish, being a friend and being friendly, because being a friend implies
Yes,
a slightly different aspect of a relationship as opposed to being a parent and being friendly.
true. Yeah.
Because then you have a respect going back and forth on a friendship basis, but you're not necessarily a friend. You're the parent, but you're a friendly parent when the situation uh, requires
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Really great points for the two of you. I was actually thinking it was all, we were going to come back to respect. I think respect is a huge topic for both parties, right? For the children and for the parents, for the adult. I want to go back to the listening piece for a moment. And I'm wondering, do you as parents, you both have children who are different ages. Do you find a place on your calendar for regular opportunities to listen to your children? I'll start with Red.
Well, my kids have families, and their kids, some of them have a family. So we're, in a major generational gap. The month of November, I didn't see my daughter. My son lives in Virginia, but I talked to her almost every day. Now she had too much comp time. They forced her to take 2 weeks off, but it seemed like every other day she was going into work because she was needed. So they forced her to take a third week off because they'd used up 1 week. But no, when my daughter was 16, one of the best things that probably ever happened to us, I flew her out to San Diego. I bought a car, and I basically, as soon as I got her outside the city limits, I put her in the driver's seat. And she drove back to Houston, then to Orlando, then to Atlanta, then to Dallas, and back down to Houston. And in 3 weeks, we had a major bonding time, just the two of us in the front seat of the car. I did the same thing with my son, not near as long, but sometimes you need that bonding. And so we can sit in the car nowadays going anywhere and talk about any kind of subject, because that's kind of our little area that's not necessarily sacred, but is something that's become our trust area, that if we want to talk about things, and when you're kind of cruising down the road, your mind's on autopilot anyway, you're getting into one of the deeper states of your brain. It's an area where you can have an honest exchange of things, even disagreements. I agree to disagree. No big deal with that. We just know where we stand, and can do that. So I think that the respect has to be there, but the respect is it's like the song RESP. We have to have that's part of our life. You can't do without it. Now you can show disrespect, but it can't be all the time to this. You have to be very, very diligent about the way you express your emotions to your kids. If something happens, okay, I'm disappointed. I really am. It's over. I'm still disappointed, but it's over. And if you do it again, now we have a problem. But right now, end of story. Let's move on to the next part. And I've had to do that twice.
So it sounds like you do have regular time that you're available to listen to your children.
Mostly over the phone, but when I can do it in person, for me, for our family, that seems the best way to do it. Eyeball to eyeball.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. How about you, Teuta?
Yes, I do have every day. Especially, I found out the best time for my kids that the work the best for them is when they before they go to sleep. So we have our minutes, our deep connection with each other, and I just listen to them. And is this one, and is when I do the school run. And when I take them, and when I am in the car as well, because I feel that they are not targeted. We are not seeing them. We are not targeting them. It's like comes natural. I am concentrating on the road, and thus they speak without any flows of just like just let it go. I mean, and I feel that is very good. And I feel that when this is the best time, that we create this bonding and this deep connection with each other. And in this moment, in this time, I think that we have the mutual respect because I listen to them. I really try to understand and to really find out the personalities. And this time we don't break this time. The sleeping, just before the sleeping, we all have. I go to Helena and I go to Daniel, and he just speak. We all have we have deep connection with each other. And I have created some. I call them magical timing and moments. Therapies, actually, I call them, because we ask questions. For example, I ask my daughter, Helena, what do you want to change from mommy? And she tells me. And I ask her, and she asks me, Mommy, what do you want me to change, or what I haven't done better this because it's kind of for 6 months we really go to the deep. So how have I changed and what needs to be changed? And another question is, what do you like? What is the good thing or the best personality that you love from mommy? And she tells me. And I tell her as well. And she asked me the same question. I said, I love your character. You are a very strong personality. You have leadership personality and skills. And, and when she speaks, I see the glow in her face because she speaks from the depth of her heart. And I treasure those moments. I treasure, and I will not change this because they are very precious. It's like mutual respect, and I validate her feelings, how she's going. So really, it's not about it's just letting her say, instead of me impeding or imposing just let her say. And this is with my son as well. So it's very important to have time with your child, and it depends you have to find what it works best for your children, because sometimes we do this all the question, how is your day? It's fine. If you have the same answer, then you have to change the questions, because they are going to say you the same thing. So if you ask, for example, what was your food, for example, and they said, is this? And you have to ask, did you like it? Yes. And then maybe you like, what did you like most about that food? What taste was it? What is the best? So go and deep ask to find more. And this is for academic question or maybe social. Who did she play with today? And what did you do? So do some extra to find more, because they will say that, that they are very they don't need no open. Yes, it's fine. But we have to be more intentional. So to ask the question to have the answer.
When my grandkids were pre-kindergarten, I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, but they would be locked in the back seat, and we would start I have no idea how it happened, but okay, what's 1 + 1? Yeah, we'd start math problems, and we'd go on to this. Okay, what's the total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? And they would have to do all this math in their head. How do you spell cat? Spell it backwards. And we went back and forth. Okay, what is 3 + 5? Okay, what is 3 - 5? Okay, now we have a problem because they're not used to minuses. And that was a big issue. But we went through this. By the time they got into something going on in the background noise, by the time they got to kindergarten, first grade, they were 99 percentile in math and verbal. And it was all because they sat in the back seat, and we constantly had a conversation with them wherever we were going. The radio was off. And whether I asked a question or my wife asked a question, we had a constant barrage of questions that challenged they couldn't write anything down. They didn't have anything to write with. They had to think. And that, I think you talked about some of the academics. How did it taste? What was the texture? You're challenging their brain to express themselves. And that's something I don't think we do with a lot of kids nowadays. We just, now they may come back, Mom, you're on 20 questions again. Well, fine, let's answer all 20 and then we'll worry about whether we go to the next 20. But that that relationship develops, and as you go through, it may not make a whole lot right now, but later on they may be a writer, and their ability to express how that texture and taste actually gave them some satisfaction is far better than somebody who's never been asked that question.
It's true. And I want to add something. And nowadays is so important. It's no more than important that nowadays that communication, because of the technology and devices, and the children are missing that of the communicating and listening skills. So we really have to take those moments as to be the precious time to communicate with our children, to validate their feelings, and to understand what's going in their mind, in their brain, on their development. So we have to, because it's not easy, and it's not easy for them, and it's not easy for parents, but we really have to find the balance.
And most of the time as parents, we don't even think about those things because we're constantly busy with other things. But you're right. Our children are our full responsibility, because you only have that short period of time and boom, they're gone. They turn a teenager and they're a different animal. I'll tell you that for sure. We've been blessed on both ends of the extreme. And I tell you, it's always nice when you have a nice, friendly animal in the house.
Yeah.
I'm so appreciative of these tips that you've shared. I'll just speak from my experience without children. Growing up, my father always made it a priority that we were together as a family, the four of us, for dinner. And that was our time together to actually talk. And as we got older and we worked together, and then we go out to dinner afterwards, and the server would come up to take the order, and he'd say, "We're just getting to know each other. We're just relaxing." It was always a dining experience. It wasn't just about eating. It was about being together and talking. And my dad was always an excellent listener. He would schedule time with his mother every single night. It didn't matter. He had to speak to her before they both went to sleep. So I always remember that.
That's great.
One thing I was reading today in a book, it was a military book, and they were talking about, somebody asked him about his experience, but somebody one day asked him, "Well, tell me about your friends." And that's something, we talk about our kids' friends, but we don't talk about what makes them so friendly. What unique things about what is the child's perception of what makes that person friendly to them? And so it got me to thinking that if I'm asking a question, usually one of the questions I love to ask somebody when I meet them, what do you do for fun? Because that's a question that most people never get. And some people generally don't even think about what do they do for fun. But now if I'm asking somebody, say in a networking environment, tell me about your clients, what's really important, or tell me about your friend, what's going on in his or her life. And it just gave me a different perspective reading that book today as to how to add more into my communication repertoire of being able to make somebody feel, because you're not asking about them, putting them on the spot. You're asking them about something they know and they feel comfortable about. So like I told you before, Dr. Jacalyn, tell me about the first car you ever have. You can write a whole book as an interview. So if we're looking at doing something like that, then why not put that person at ease? I'll ask today, I said, well, tell me about Gary's wife. Well, Gary's wife's on the phone. We're talking to her. But when you talk to somebody in a third person, they sometimes respond differently than they would. Well, how are you doing? Okay, fine. Well, if you ask in a third person roundabout way of, you're getting a different response from a different part of the brain. So it's just a lot of different things in there in the way we listen and the choice of words that we use.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you. We actually are at the end of our show. It's gone by so quickly. And what I'd love for you both to do separately, obviously, is to share your contact information. We haven't posted that yet in the comments. So Teuta, I'll start with you. How can people get in touch with you, and who should contact you?
Yes, you can connect with me via Facebook, Teuta Avdyli, and my website, teutaavdyli.com, LinkedIn, Teuta Avdyli, and my email, contact@teutaavdyli.com. com actually. So please, if you really need help in your family life, or if you want to break through of all these negative patterns and really to have a fulfilled life, so please do call me, and I'm more than happy to connect with you. And also, if you, I'll give, and 30 minutes breakthrough session is going to be, I'll give it for free. So yes, that's for me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Teuta. All right, Mr. Red O'Laughlin, how about you?
Well, my name's there on the bottom of the screen, but if you're listening and it's recorded, red, R-E-D, like the color, .olaughlin, that's OLAUGHLIN, OLAUGHLIN, red.olaughlin@gmail.com is one of several emails that I use, but that's the one I try to use for most of my clients. 281-687-1188, 281-687-1188. Those are the two best ways to reach me. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram. My website's red.olaughlin.com. I answer questions all the time for people thinking about writing a book. 80% of Americans, according to many sources, want to write a book, yet less than 2% actually write one. But it's not as difficult as people think. I can answer any questions you have in that area with regard to conceptually getting started, writing the book, publishing the book, marketing the book. It's services I don't always do, but I have sources that will take care of it. But please, if you're interested in any aspect of publishing, writing, please give me a call.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I was able to type up your contact information as you were talking, and we do have some comments. Let's just see what they are. Okay. From Hyatt, he wants everyone to know that he and Al Sr. are going to have this much fun tomorrow when they're doing their role plays, which is great. And we have from someone who is watching on one of our private groups. It must be Dr. Jacalyn's Health and Wellness. I was able to listen to most of this. Excellent presentations. Thank you. So I don't know who you are. I'm looking, but we appreciate it. All right. I'm just going to put up contact information again. Teuta, I hope I got this right. Teuta, I spelled it right. Yay.
Yep.
All right. There's her information, and here's Red's information. All right. Thank you both. I look forward to seeing you again on a future show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Happy Christmas.
Merry
Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. And thank you very much, Dr. Jacalyn. As always, it's my pleasure. And Red, it's so lovely to have you as a role player as well. So it's such an amazing, yes.
We love our role plays.
Thank you, Mommy.
I'll see you both later. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you, everyone, for watching and for engaging. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to be an elevated listener, it's possible, right? Anything's possible. How can you do that? Let me pull up our banner. So it's very easy. All you have to do is you have to go over to Eventbrite, and you can sign up for the Power of Listening. Foundational courses, parts 1 and 2. Key takeaways: you will have more confidence, deeper relationships, better connections, and authentic conversations. How do I know this? Because we've already had 2 groups of students who have graduated, and they have shared that this is what their takeaways were. So once you pass these 2 courses and you take the quiz, the 7-question quiz, you too can become an elevated listener. And what does that mean? It means that you can come on this show and have so much fun doing role plays. You also get to be part of our game show that we are bringing out, and there's so many more benefits. So please, again, go over to Eventbrite. Last message is we have our reunion show that is coming up. This is an opportunity for you to promote your services, your business, your offerings. It's 6 hours of live streaming. There are no interviews. This is just an opportunity for people who have been on the show in 2021 to come on and share with us what it is that they are doing for the next year, and to bring us any special offers that they have for our audience. How do you get to sign up for this? It's so easy. All you have to do is go over to Eventbrite, and you can book your ticket there. And I'm running this. I'll also put it in the comments. Everything's over on Eventbrite. All right. Thank you again. I really appreciate you being here and taking this time. We will be back tomorrow with a full day of programming. We are now broadcasting 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and we have our big launch for USA Global TV on January the 10th, and we're also launching the Talking Heads. These are experts across the world who will have their own show and present for 30 minutes. It's by invitation only, and the people who are on our team are extremely accomplished and very credible. We look forward to having them share what they've learned through the course of their career. Finally, I said that there wasn't any more, but there is. There's the opportunity to purchase my book, Behind the Green Screen, How to Succeed in the Live Broadcasting Business. This is over on Amazon. This is basically the story of how and why I left the corporate world and started this broadcasting platform without any experience. I was just on the radio being interviewed by someone. I took the show over and continued it as a radio show, and then made it a TV show, and now we have 20 shows a week with many more for next year. All right. Thank you again. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Happy holidays. Take care of yourself and everyone else. Bye.